Welcome to Dad That Cooks. I'm John.
I'm Jack.
What are we making today?
A London cheesecake.
A London cheesecake. Now, if you don't know what that is, Greggs sell it, and lots of local bakeries in the southeast of England sell it. I don't know how far around the country it goes, actually. It's a puff pastry square of deliciousness with a coconut topping and a jam middle. Very, very easy to make. Really, really tasty. You like it as well, because you like jam and coconut.
And eggs.
And eggs. And icing. So it's all your favourite things in one, isn't it?
And pastry.
Pastry, yes. So what you need to make this is a roll of puff pastry that you've taken out the fridge an hour before you use it, so it comes closer to room temperature. You need 250 grams of icing sugar. You need 1 egg that's beaten. We use that for sealing. You need some seedless strawberry jam and coconut chips. Now you can get coconut chips in your supermarket, but you only get a really tiny packet for quite a lot of money. Coconut is quite expensive at the moment. Actually, if you go online or to a health food shop, you can get a much bigger bag like this for not much more money, and actually it's more reasonably priced. I have this on my breakfast in the morning as well to give a little bit of natural sweetness to it, so you will use it. But you like the coconut topping, don't you? That's your favourite.
And then I've tried one of those already, so...
You were quality checking, weren't you? So what we're going to do here, we've rolled out our pastry. You don't actually have to roll it out with a rolling pin. Just unroll your pastry, and what you need to do is you need to divide it into 12. So you need to mark with a sharp knife 4 one way and 3 the other, so you end up with 12. That's my maths doing that there. And what we do is we just cut through the pastry, leave it on its paper backing, and that will save your work surface.
You cut it just after the thing.
I did, yes.
Why?
Right, excuse me, Mr. Moo. Shall I come in that way? Because you're stood there. So you're just cutting this up into 12 pieces. Now this will make you 6, because you're going to put 1 layer on top of another layer.
Eek. I'm scared it might break.
That's all right. It's nice if they look a bit rustic.
Squishy.
It's a bit squishy. Now what we need to do is we need to brush the edges with the egg like this. So can you see like that?
Mm-hmm.
Go on then, can you have a go? That's it. That's it. Let me do that one there. Go on then. So what we've done there, we just finished it off. We've basically just put egg around all the edges and in the inside edges as well. And that will just make sure that the 2 pastry pieces combine together.
And it will give it some texture.
Texture? Well, it's like a glue egg in baking. Right, now what I want you to do, you've got 6 here. We need to put jam in the middle of each of these 6.
Not like the actual glue.
No, not like the actual glue. Right, so if I put the jam, there you go, and you've got to make sure it's right in the middle. So if I give you a blob, can you put that right in the middle of the next one? That's it. Make sure it's right in the middle, that's it. Because it will spread out while it's baking. You see, if you shake the spoon like that, it will come off a bit more easily. Now, when I buy these in the baker's, I never think
That one's a bit big.
Well, I'm just going to say why it's a bit big. When you buy them in the baker's, I never think there's enough jam in them. I like lots of jam. And actually, that's why I put the egg in. So the jam struggles to find its way out of the middle. Right, 2 more.
Why 2 more?
Because we're making 6. So we've got 6 bases and 6 lids. Oh! That was trying to run away. That was trying to run away, wasn't it? If you're wondering what that noise is, Cookie is round the floor, hoovering up anything that we drop.
We don't need to use a hoover that many times.
Not when there's food around, do we?
But when
That last bit, there we are.
When the brothers come, they're going to be messy.
Yeah, your brothers are very messy eaters, aren't they? And Cookie likes that, doesn't he? So
Mine's more messier than Nick.
yes, you're right. So what we do now is we take
Yummy.
our tops and we put the tops on the bottoms.
I want to have a messy go.
Go on then, put that on the base. There we are.
Mm.
That's it. And the corner one. And we'll do this one here.
It doesn't feel nice, the egg.
It's a bit slimy. Here you go.
That's not right in the middle.
No, that's fine. Now what you want to do is you do want to press them down at the edges just to make sure that the egg sticks. And don't worry if you've got thumb marks in them because they will disappear as it bakes and it rises.
That one is not in the middle. That one's like this way.
That's all right. So you can see it's actually very, very easy. Very easy to do with children as well. And what I've got here is I've got a baking sheet with a non-stick sheet on it. You can use some baking parchment or you can oil the sheet itself. And then what we do is we just prise off the cheesecakes.
They're going to rise up when they're in the oven.
They are. You're
because they're a bit flat now.
They're a bit flat at the minute, but they will go very puffy.
Can I do them?
To work out which way round to do them.
Can I do them?
Well, no, it's a bit fiddling.
Ow.
It's a bit...
Ow.
Oh.
Ow. I'm saying ow to Cookie.
Here. Cookie's very interested to know what we're doing. He's looking at me like, what are you doing? And can I eat it? Yeah, so just make sure that they, you've got a good seal on all the sides. And now the oven is been set at 180 degrees. And you just want to put this in the middle of the oven for 20 minutes. So we'll put that in the oven now.
And then we'll see you soon.
Well, what's going to happen now? That's 20 minutes in the oven. We'll come back to that in a moment. So 20 minutes have gone and it's time for us to get them out the oven. Oh, look at those. So, big puffy up London cheesecakes. Now what we have to do, we have to wait for these to cool properly. Don't touch them because they can collapse. They're quite fragile until they've cooled. So leave them on the oven tray for about 15 minutes and then take them off and put them on a wire rack until they're completely cooled. And we'll be back in a second to do the final decoration. So everything is nice and cool now. I've actually left them on the baking tray because you're going to get a little bit messy with the icing and it's quite nice to catch. But you can see we've got really 6 big puffy ones, haven't we?
Yeah, and I'm eating those.
You're eating the coconut chip. So we put the coconut chips in a bowl. Now you can get away with about 50 grams of coconut chips, but you might want close to 100 because you put a lot on. Now what we need to do is we need to mix the icing sugar with water to get a nice icing. Now the trick is with icing and water.
Be very careful.
Be very careful, but a lot of people put too much water in their icing and it ends up a runny mess that goes everywhere. And you'd be surprised at how little water you need for a good runny icing. So I've just put a little splash in there, and as you stir it around, if you want to come in and have a look.
Is it just going to be white icing?
Yeah, just white icing, because we put the coconut on top, don't we?
Boo-hoo-hoo.
See, I do get it everywhere. You see. Now at this point, we need to add a bit more.
I just tasted some of the icing sugar and it tastes delicious.
You really don't want it too runny. Always start with water that you think isn't enough. An amount that you think isn't enough. Now I think this is going to be just about right. Once I stir it. You see, I'm getting it all down me. So that's the kind of consistency you want. It's just runny enough, but not too runny. And then what we need to do is we need to spoon over the top.
It's going to get very messy, this.
Not too much, and it will run. So try and put it in the middle and it will run down the sides. Jack, stop doing that. You stinker. You're making my mess even messier.
I like it.
In my ginger biscuit video, what were you doing all the time?
Eating the crumb.
Eating the biscuity crumb?
No, and now I'm eating the ice.
Icing.
Icing.
So you can see you put a nice big blob on top. It doesn't matter if it runs down the sides, that makes it a little bit extra gooey.
I want some icing.
Yeah. A bit more on this one, I think. I think we're a bit mean on that one there, and maybe even a bit more there. So once you've done that, before it dries, you know, I'm going to put a bit more there. Never have enough. You can stick your finger in there then. And then before it dries, you need to put the coconut on top. So grab a little bit of coconut, put it on top like that carefully so it sticks onto the icing.
And it fell.
That's all right. Push it down into the icing so that it sticks.
Only that one. Oh, oops. Into the next one.
There we are. Now, I think you've been a bit mean, Mr. Moo, with your coconutty. So I'm going to add a little bit more to yours. See, there you go. I've used about 100 grams then. You can see you get a good amount.
I'm going to eat that one because that one looks the yummiest.
Is that your one or that one?
This one.
This
that one's
one.
the smallest.
So there we are. Homemade London cheesecakes. Don't they look super yummy? They look a bit messy, but once everything is dried, you lift them off the baking tray, the baking sheet. They'll be really lovely. Will you stop eating the bits off the top? Because Granny and Grandad will want some of these as well.
No, that was in the bowl.
Oh, okay. Now, my friend James, he loves his cooking. He loves cooking for his family, but he's also got some chickens. So he's done us a really great video to talk about how to make a really nice breakfast muffin, but also where the eggs come from. So I hope you enjoy this video. It's really, really good. Over to you, James.
Hello John, we're here in the kitchen this morning in Wiltshire. My name's James and I am joined by Thomas and William. Oh, or is it? William and Thomas. I can never remember which one they are. They are my twins and they are apes. And today what we're doing is making Sunday brunch, not the TV show, for Mummy. And one of Mummy's favourite things to have for Sunday brunch is on the table in front of us, isn't it boys?
Yeah.
And we're going to have a look first at the ingredients for the Sunday brunch. So we're going to start here. What are these, boys? Who knows what these are?
Muffins. Muffins.
Muffins, right. So we've got muffins here first. And what is this?
Bacon. Bacon.
Bacon. Bacon is one of the favourite meats, isn't it? And we've got two kinds of bacon here. This is streaky bacon. It's thin strips of bacon. And it's got quite a bit of fat in it, which is really tasty when it's cooked. And here we have got what's called back bacon. You can see the shape of it has got this lean piece here without much fat and then a bit more of a fatty piece here. And which animal does bacon come from, boys?
Pig.
From a pig. And a pig is a very cool animal because you can eat lots of different bits of a pig. And maybe if John asks us to make another video one day, we'll talk a bit more about pigs. So we've got muffins, streaky bacon, back bacon, and actually it's smoked bacon, which is extra tasty. So it has smoke put through it. And then we have got here some cooking oil and some butter. Oil to cook the bacon. Lots of people don't use oil to cook the bacon, but I like a bit of oil. And butter to go on the muffins.
Oh,
and then we have got eggs.
Yummy, yummy.
And we've got some extra special ingredients for Mummy's brunch today. We've got corn and mealworm. And we'll talk about corn and the mealworm later.
No.
Okay? But before we start cooking, what we're going to do is we're going to learn a bit about eggs. And so I've made you each a pile of egg cards. You show the camera the egg cards? We've got egg cards. and we're going to go through the egg cards, one after the other, and we're going to see what's on them, and we're going to find out things, first of all, things that have got eggs in them when you cook them. So, Thomas, you start with your first card. What's on it?
Cakes.
Cakes, yes, yummy cakes. We make cake mix, has lots of eggs in it, doesn't it? And flour, usually, and sugar.
Yeah.
What's your first card, William?
Fish and chips.
Fish and chips. And where does egg go in fish and chips?
I'm guessing for the breadcrumbs.
For the batter.
They do an egg wash.
Yeah, the egg wash.
So
Yeah, you can egg wash the fish.
Crumbs stick
And
to the...
fish batter for fish and chips, like you get from the chip shop or the pub, that's also got eggs in it, and sometimes beer. Right, Thomas, what's your next card? What's that? Yorkshire puds. Our fate, we like Yorkshire puds, don't we? And that's made with the same sort of stuff that goes in the batter for fish and chips. Yorkshire puds is really simple. It's just flour, eggs, and milk.
Okay.
And then we put them in the oven. Right, what's your next one?
Mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise, yeah. Mayonnaise, proper
It-
mayonnaise
yeah.
is made out of eggs, and eggs mixed with
Fat.
oil. That's
Oil
right.
on.
Very good. Right, now, Thomas, what's next? Ah, can you pronounce that?
No.
This one, souffle. Now, this is very difficult to make, and it's very light whisked eggs that go in the oven, and they rise up out of the dish into a big tower of a souffle, and they're very posh and quite complicated to make, and I don't know how to make them. What's next, William?
Pasta.
Pasta, yes. We do like pasta, don't we? What sort of pasta do you like?
I like pasta,
Yeah,
spaghetti bolognese.
yeah. Lasagna.
I've had like this, like cucumber pesto and
Ooh, cucumber pesto pasta, very nice.
Sweet corn pasta.
Sweet corn
It was
pasta.
really good.
And pasta is also made of eggs and flour. It's very versatile things, eggs.
Just like,
Right, Thomas, what's next? How do you pronounce that one? You've got the complicated ones. Meringue. Meringue.
I knew it.
We know what meringue is, don't we?
Yeah.
What happens with meringue?
So, when you bake it, so you can't go in the sugar all at once, so it won't work.
That's right.
So, and when you're mixing it, every minute you have to go up the speed, or
Yeah.
it won't.
There you go. So meringue is whisked up egg whites. Only the whites, though. You can't. If you get any yolk in your meringue, it won't work.
Oh no.
Because yolks are magic. What's next, William?
Pancakes.
Pancakes. We like pancakes, don't we? We can have thin crepe pancakes, like French ones, or thick American ones. And they're all made from the same sort of batter, different thickness, but the same sort of batter. What's next, Thomas?
Custard.
Custard, yes. Egg custard. Yummy, yummy.
So you need to put your milk. We got this from Bake Off. At some point, your milk when it's too hot, it will scramble one to be
That's right. You get scrambled eggs, yeah. And your last one, William, what have you got?
Omelets.
Omelets.
I know what these are.
What are they?
So it's like an egg, it's like a boiled egg with like a yolk inside, like a runny yolk, and then you can have like ham with them.
Yeah. Ham omelette, mushroom omelette, cheese omelette, absolutely.
A lot.
If you watch Gavin and Stacey, they eat a lot of omelettes in Gavin and Stacey. Right, so those are lots of things that that have egg in them. And we can also eat eggs on their own, can't we? Sometimes you just have egg and nothing else, because eggs are great. So, I'm going to start with my egg cards, and we're going to see what we know about how we can cook eggs. So what's the first one we've got? Scrambled eggs.
Okay.
And how do we do that?
So how we'll do it, we'll get the eggs, and then we'll start whisking it up.
That's it.
And it's looking all scrambled and delicious. And then if you're having a brunch, you can put it on your muffins.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Very good.
And it's
Yep.
really nice.
Very nice scrambled eggs. Yeah, bit of milk in them sometimes just to keep them nice and loose. But very nice scrambled eggs. Right, what about this? Deviled eggs. What are deviled eggs, John?
I don't know.
Well, deviled eggs are if you boil your egg and you cut it in half and you take out the yolk and you mix the yolk up with mayonnaise and other things and sort of spices, and then you squeeze the yolk mixture back into the egg. And I think it sounds horrible.
Yeah.
Don't think we're going to make deviled eggs. What's next?
Baked.
Baked eggs. Yeah, they're quite strange where you just cook them in the oven.
They can't. I haven't had one, but it's kind of like a boiled egg, and
Yeah.
it's just in the oven.
You put them in a little ramekin, not in a shell. You break it into a little pot, and then you just cook it in the oven. Baked eggs. And then what's next? Coddled. So coddled eggs are a bit like poached eggs, but they're made in a coddling pan, and that's a little pan with 4 little egg-shaped things in it, and you put that over a simmering pot of water, and you cook them a bit like poached eggs, but they're actually called coddled because they go in the little pan thing. Next we've got boiled eggs, your favourite eggs, aren't they?
Yeah, you boil the egg with the shell on, and then you have to take it off, and then the yolk inside's like soft, and you can get this thing where it's like there's this thing where it's like in the bottom and a bit where you can put the boiled egg in.
There you go, it's an egg cup. Right, and we can dip soldiers in them, made out of toast. If it's a runny yolk, dippy eggs, yummy. Right, next one. Fried eggs. That's one of the best kind of eggs, isn't it?
So you like do an egg, and then you put it on like hot or cold water, and then around it starts to get like all the egg whites, I think, start to like form, because they start off as liquid, and then they become solid.
And the last one we've got is
poached eggs.
Poached eggs, and poached eggs is what we're going to make from the ingredients we've got here for Mummy's brunch. And we're going to have poached eggs and bacon on buttered muffins. We like buttering our muffins, don't we?
I really like muffins with butter.
Exactly, buttering our muffins is fantastic.
Or toast.
Or toast, yeah, you like toast, don't you, Will? So, we're going to go and have a look at how we cook these things to make the brunch. But before we do that, I think we need to find out why have we got corn and mealworms for Mummy's brunch. What are we going to do with the corn and the mealworms? Should we go and find out?
I'm a cameraman, yes.
Okay, you can be the cameraman.
Yeah.
Right, let's go and find out what we do with those.
So, wait, how can I do that?
Right, we've got our corn and our mealworms, and now we're going to find out what these have got to do with eggs. So let's go outside. Who's this? It's a chicken.
Yeah.
You think the chickens might like these treats that we've got? Should we sit here and see if the chickens would like some of these treats?
Yeah.
Hello. What's this chicken's name?
Isn't it?
So here come the other chickens. Oh, look, they're hungry. Here they come. Here's Korma. Oh, here comes biryani. See? So they like the corn.
That's biryani. That one there. These are the mealworms.
So they're eating the corn. They really like corn. Corn's one of their favourite things to eat. We give them some corn for a treat sometimes. But they also really like mealworm. Is their favourite snack. See, look at them go. They're scoffing the mealworm. Some of them are not quite as friendly as the others, but they still like mealworm if you throw it on the floor for them. Or some corn? Yeah, some corn. Very good. Right, let's throw some more on the ground for the chickens to eat, because they'll enjoy eating all of these lovely treats all day.
They're going at the mealworm.
They are, look, they're loving that. Right, now we're going to go and see where the chickens live. So let's go over here to where the chickens live, and shall we see what's in the chicken house?
Yay!
What's in there? Eggs.
2.
3 eggs, one from each chicken. So let's carefully put the eggs in the dish, and they're still warm.
Once it's
fresh from the bottom, still warm. And so now we've got the best kind of eggs for poaching, because that's what you really need, fresh eggs, and you can't get fresher than freshly laid chicken eggs straight from the bottom. Right, we've got the eggs, and we're over at the cooker, and what we need to do the poached eggs brunch is the eggs, the bacon, the muffins. One of the muffins is in the toaster ready to toast. We've got a pan of just boiling water, so it's come to the boil and it's simmering. And we've got a pan over here for the bacon, because you can only really fry bacon. Some people grill it, but I like to fry it. Is over here, just getting nice and warm. Not too hot, just nice and warm. And we've also got the eggs, and we've got some cups that we're going to break the eggs into. Because what we need to be sure of is that we get the egg with an unbroken yolk. Sometimes when you crack an egg, you break the yolk, and poached eggs don't work if you've got a broken yolk. So we're going to make sure that we've got the solid yolk by putting it into a cup first. And then over here we've got a little bit of oil and a bit of butter for the muffins for when we are ready for them. And the oven is on really, really low. So we're going to do the bacon and the muffins, get them ready, and then we're going to just keep them nice and warm in the oven for a couple of minutes while we concentrate on the poaching of the eggs. So, first things first, let's get the eggs broken into the cups, and William's going to help me do that over here. Right, so we've got 2 cups and we're going to need 2 good cracked eggs. So, how do we do that? That's it. Whoop. Let's have a look. How did we do? Good, that one looks good. That's a solid yolk, we can use that. Shall I do one? This egg is still warm from the chicken, so gentle crack, and then we just pull apart the egg into the cup, pop the egg shells back in there, and there we've got another yolk, nice and ready to go. So we're going to put those here for now, and we're going to go back over here, and we're going to concentrate first on our bacon. So, got the pan on, little bit of oil in the pan, only a tiny bit of oil, because you don't really need a lot because there's quite a bit of fat on the bacon, but I like a little bit just to stop it sticking. And then into the pan, we're going to do a couple of rashers of the back bacon and a couple of rashers of the streaky bacon. Be careful, it's quite hot, so be careful with your fingers if you're doing it, get someone to help you. We'll just pop that out of the way. And we're going to also switch on the toaster quickly so that we just start toasting the muffin over there. Bacon's ready, so we're going to put the bacon on the tray, turn the bacon pan off. We're going to pop the tray in the warm oven. Right, now we're ready to poach the eggs. So what we've got in the pan here, just simmering water. It's not boiling, it's not bubbling away, it's just simmering. Now, I like to poach my eggs just with egg, water, that's it. Some people say, first of all, you have to whisk the water up so you get a swirling whirlpool in there that sort of pulls the egg together. I don't think you need to do that. Some people will put a bit of vinegar in there, I don't think you need to do that either. Some people will put the eggs in cling film in a little ball and poach them inside cling film. That's a bit more like coddling an egg. So what we're going to give it a go here is just cooking them in the water, poaching them, nice and easy. 2 minutes, that's all. Some people say 3 minutes. I think 2 minutes. You need the inside nice and runny. So we've got the timer, we've got the pan, and we've got the eggs. And whilst the eggs are poaching, we're going to get the other bits out of the oven, plate them up, and then we should have 2 perfect poached eggs with bacon and muffins ready to go. So here's the egg inside the cup, and what we're going to do in the simmering water, we're just going to gently lower it in, let the water run into the cup and tip it out, and then do the same thing with the other one. Nice and fresh eggs, obviously you saw these just came from the chickens. Start the timer, 2 minutes, clock's ticking. So what we're going to do, we're going to go to the oven and we're going to get out the bacon and the muffins and a nice warm plate and pop that there. And we will the muffins here nicely on the plate, and we'll have some back bacon and some streaky bacon. Nice pile of bacon there. You can see in here, you see the eggs just gently poaching, not moving around too much, just poaching away nicely. We can skim a little bit of this off the top so you can see that they're nicely poaching away in there. 1 minute gone, 1 minute to go. 30 seconds to go now. Clock's ticking down. We're going to have a little look at the eggs, just checking, see how they're doing. They are coming along nicely. I think they might need just a little bit under the 2 minutes here, because they had been in the water for a little bit before I started the timer. So I think we're going to stop them with maybe a few seconds to go. So first one out, with the slotted spoon, and then just onto the clean tea towel for a second, just to drain any water off, because you don't want soggy muffins, and then onto the muffin. And the second one, out it comes, looking good. Drain onto the clean tea towel for a moment, and then onto the plate. So, turn off the heat, let's go and pop it on the table and see how those eggs have done. So here we are at the table, got our eggs, poached eggs, bacon, muffins, and if this has all worked perfectly, I'm going to get paid. John's going to pay me. He's going to pay me if I cut into this egg and it goes running out all over the bacon. Delicious. Shall we see how it goes? Oh, look at that. Fresh poached chicken's eggs, bacon, muffins, sorted. Bye, everyone.
Wow, James, that looks really super yummy. I have to say, poached eggs are some of the most difficult things to get right. So really great to see that runny yolk and that bacon. I can smell it from here. Fantastic. So that's our London cheesecakes. Very simple recipe to do. You enjoyed doing that, didn't you?
Yes.
Ate half the coconut, of course, so I think we need extra coconut on our next time we do that, don't we? We hope you enjoyed that. Please like this video and subscribe to our channel as well. Tell your friends about us too. We've got many more videos coming up with myself and Jack and our friends showing you how to make really great food for your family. We'll see you next time. Say goodbye, Jack.
Bye.
Bye.